Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks and plastic, and discuss what is new and up and coming around the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure host, Matt. Let's build on it. How are all of y'all doing today? Hopefully quite well. Today, we've got an interview with Chris, the head honcho over at Bricker Builds. Really great to talk to him. Just a very knowledgeable guy, you know, a lot of motivation, a lot of initiative, really cool thing that him and his partners obviously have created to get this to the Lego community and stuff like that, or maybe not even just Lego community, but somebody that might be a fan of Star Wars. But so I hope you guys enjoy the interview with Chris. Let's dive into it. Well, I got Chris from Bricker Builds here, and I've been waiting. I've heard Bricker Builds, you know, Brian Saviano talked about it all the time. You know, Bricks O'Brien, it's from Bricker Builds, Bricker Builds. So, Chris, I'm glad that you were able to sneak away for a little bit. I mean, you're the founder, the owner, the CEO, the everything of Bricker Builds. So, tell me a little bit about it, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Glad to be on here. Yeah. So Bricker Builds got started, it was about a year and a half ago today as of Brick World. The idea really sprung from an idea in college where I wanted to create these expansive landscapes for my stop motion animations, because I actually got started animating for a YouTube channel that I created, Bricks Brought to Life.
Sure.
And I wanted to make these massive landscapes, but we were working on trailer recreations, which
Sure.
you got to turn those around real fast if you want to get traction on YouTube. So we had about 2 weeks to make these massive landscapes, and so I, in anticipation of that, wrote software that converts 3D objects and even animations into Lego bricks. And so originally we were doing a massive Harry Potter, the castle by the river, and generating that in 3D. And really that turned eventually into, this would be mid 2020 during the pandemic. Actually, I started creating sculptures like. There was a clone helmet that I made that's actually still on the Bricker Builds website, the 330-second clone helmet.
Okay.
I generated that in our software and uploaded it to Instagram. I said it's a life-size clone helmet, and it just blew up. This is my animation channel, so not something that I expected to see blow up. And there were probably 35 comments on a post that, I didn't have a crazy following at the time, and so that really caught my eye. Like, there's something here. People want to build these things.
Yeah.
And now I had claimed that this was life-sized. But that was not an intelligent claim, because I had not tested anything. I just said, this looks like it'd be pretty big, right?
Sure.
Well, it was actually about, it was just a clone helmet, and it was about 3.5 feet tall.
Right.
So it would have been, the size of a clone's body almost. So obviously from there, took the software and, wanted to make the model more affordable, make it an actual life-sized, and be able to, make those measurements in the computer. So from there, it really came to a lot of software development. And once I had a sculpture that I could build that looked real life, looked amazing, I was really happy with it. Then one of my friends, Adam, who's also a stop motion animator, gave me the idea to start this company, because we had so many people commenting they wanted instruction manuals. And I was trying to do it myself. And of course, when you're doing every step of the process, from marketing to, software development, to the design, to instruction manuals, and then of course, trying to get those instruction manuals out to the public, and then, all this customer service. It's just not possible to have one person doing all that.
No.
So started to build up an incredible team. I'm really surrounded by some incredible people. At first we were started with Adam Nye, as I mentioned him earlier. He's Ant Bandit on YouTube, and he was doing a lot of the marketing content. We have Jace, who's our instruction designer. And then we have Dave Holder from Australia, and he was one of our original model designers. And so the four of us got together, and we made some really fun models. Like, we made a life-size Pikachu. We made a life-size Mario sculpture.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Love that thing.
Thank you. Yeah, we have it here at the convention. It's been fun to see people's reactions and see all the kids taking pictures and everything.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, I mean, you've built up this giant thing. I mean, I was talking to, I can't remember his name, Donnie?
Yes, Donnie. Yeah.
Okay.
From the East Coast.
I know Donnie from ABC Builds from his Instagram stuff. Started listening to the show a long time ago, and he ran into me today. And I was like, oh hey, you get to see people, but I mean, you've really built a big. At least nationwide. I don't know about worldwide. Are you guys?
It is worldwide. We're an online store, so you can order. I mean, we have orders coming in every day from Asia, Australia, Europe. It's everywhere.
So with the models that you have, I mean, you've got a bunch, and you just unveiled Charmander.
Yes, today.
The newest Pokemon.
Threw the curtain off.
So with something like that, is it? Are you looking and saying, well, this is what we like, or this is what kind of like the public likes? Because I mean, you have a lot of Marvel over there. You have Star Wars, you have Mario, you have Pokemon stuff. I mean, where's kind of the wheelhouse that you guys are looking? Are you looking at what the community is purchasing? Or are you looking at things like, we know this is going to be a big hit, so we're going to create this? How do you come up with those designs?
Okay, it starts from the fact that we're all fans. We're all, we're here. I mean, I came to this Brick World convention ever since I was a kid. I actually grew up in Chicago.
Okay, so it's a hometown.
Yeah,
okay.
So I started off just as a fan making stuff that I would want to buy. A life-size clone helmet. I love the Clone Wars. I love Darth Maul, one of the coolest evil villains to ever be put on TV. So I'm just making stuff that I want to buy. And then eventually, as we grow, we do start to make, we want to have the resources to be able to build these things. And so if we're going to make, for example, we made a Scout Trooper helmet.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, that just didn't find an audience. I think we sold maybe a handful, which meant that, making that model hurt my pockets a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
So after mistakes, or I wouldn't say mistakes, I'm still super proud of that model. But after models that don't reach an audience like that, you do have to take that into account. So there's definitely some testing. We'll put out polls over Christmas time this past year. We did a big fan voted poll where we took a lot of the models that we'd hear a lot of comments asking for those, and we put it in a bracket, kind of like a March Madness style bracket, and allowed people to vote. And essentially, it came down to Charmander and Iron Man at the very end. And we could have sworn that Charmander would have won, because Charmander has been just absolutely wild on Instagram. Everyone's been posting pictures and because it's actually existed before it came up on the Bricker Builds website on Dave Holder's Instagram for quite a while.
Okay.
In an earlier version of it. So that it surprised us that Iron Man actually took the lead. But I guess what I'm getting at is we definitely take what people want to build into account. And we have a lot of fans that we interact with through Instagram DMs, and we'll ask people what they want to see. And there's always comments on our posts and our stories that we definitely take into account.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything that you're working on? Obviously, you already did a reveal. Do you have anything that you're working on now ahead, that you plan on revealing maybe, I don't know, next year, Brick World Chicago?
Yeah. We have a whole bunch of models. I think we have about a dozen in development right now.
Okay.
So it just keeps growing because we got more designers every year, or every month, honestly. But yeah, there's one model that that we have up on display in the booth that I don't think the internet has seen so far. Instagram has seen. But yeah, we've got a new lightsaber coming out, and that's going to be released on Tuesday, the Tuesday after this convention.
Okay.
And that's to celebrate the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show and the finale coming out. We just released a new Jurassic model.
Okay.
We try to avoid trademarks as we can.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But yeah, I mean, big fans of the Jurassic Park series, so it made sense to make dinos and a mosquito and amber. And I mistakenly just teased something else that we've got coming out, but we've got quite a lot of stuff in the
pipeline, ready to go. So when you guys, I mean, obviously Dave was a designer for you. I had a chat off show yesterday with Dave. Do you just find people? Do people come to you and say, "Hey, I'd like to design for you," or how does that process work? If somebody wanted to say, "Hey, Chris, I'm really good at whatever," how do I get on board?
Yeah, well, Dave reached out to us over email, and I didn't know Dave at the time. It was just me and Adam doing our thing, so I actually was not super interested in bringing someone else on board. But Dave was persistent, and after I looked through his Instagram and all the stuff that he's done. Dave is just an incredibly accomplished and talented guy, and I'm so glad that he was persistent because, yeah. So he came to us, and let's see. For the most part, our designers, we've found them on Instagram because there's just some incredible design talent on Instagram, and you can always find really great people who have been relatively undiscovered. Like, I know Tyler De Silva, one of our main designers. He's still got 2,000 followers, which he needs more followers on Instagram because he is just incredibly talented. He did some of our new models, like some of the new Jurassic models that we've got coming out.
See, that's my wheelhouse. Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, and let's see. We brought in another designer, Ian Summers, and he's done a Polaroid camera that's actually out on display here. That hasn't been announced yet, so those listening to this podcast and know something that most people don't.
Awesome.
But yeah, and everyone at this convention. But yeah, we've got some new designers that we found on Instagram.
That's awesome, though. I mean, it's a big deal. People build some incredible things. You guys have incredible things over there anyway. But just having somebody be like, hey, being persistent, saying, hey, I want to create something for you. Well, what do you think of this? I've created these. It's just a really cool experience. I mean, it's only going to grow the community even more, and then obviously Bricker Builds even more. But obviously there's a demand for this kind of stuff. People, I mean, Star Wars people are Star Wars people. They're always going to be Star Wars fans, and you've got so many busts of the helmets over there. It's just crazy.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a little bit for everyone. We've got our Nintendo models that are no longer available, but we have our Star Wars, our Marvel. Yeah, we've got some really good stuff coming out.
Awesome. So with that in mind, where do you see? I mean, Bricker Builds is not, in the grand scheme of things, is not that old. Where do you see it going from here? I mean, this is your baby. You've nurtured it to this point. Where do you see it going from here?
Yeah, this is.
Or where do you want to see it go from here?
It's grown further than I expected it to already. I'm definitely a fan, and I have a full-time job, so I'm doing this more as a hobby.
Yeah.
So I think I'm right now developing what I want this to look like. There's clearly a massive demand for these life-size sculptures, and just we're a bunch of passionate fans. We're really just fans having fun making stuff for other people to build. So that's a good question, and I don't have a great answer to that. But
you don't have to have an answer to it. I mean, it's a work in progress. I like the answer that you gave. That you're basically trying to figure out where you're going to go with it, because, like you said, there is demand, and you didn't expect it to be to this point. So you've got to kind of stop and look and realize, all right, where do we want this to go? Because, like you said about a group of fans just having fun, the entire weekend I'm 2 booths away from you guys, and you're just clowning around, just having a blast. I mean, whether you're eating lunch or you're interacting with fans, with customers, whatever, you can feel it, and it comes across as genuine. And I think that definitely goes well with this community, because I think a lot of the time Lego gets they're basement dwellers.
Yeah.
They only build in the basement. They're not entertaining. They're not energetic. No, you'd be completely surprised. So it's really cool to see the passion and the energy really there. So
thank you. Yeah, we've got some. I'm really amazed by the people that we've got on the team.
Yeah.
We've got some incredibly passionate, creative people that are really, really fun. We've all been hanging out. I mean, we go to dinners together as a team, and there's just some really quality people on our team. And yeah, I mean, if there's other quality people out there that want to build some life-size sculptures or, do some marketing for us, we're looking for a graphic designer right now. If you guys, if you want to reach out over Instagram DMs, or you can send us an email, we're always looking for new talent.
Okay. That is interesting. So we'll push the business stuff aside for a minute. I want to hear about your Lego journey. I always ask this to everybody. I want to hear, where did you start? Did you have your dark age? When did you get back into it? All the stuff. So when did you start getting into Lego? Was it right out of the womb, or was it?
I don't remember, which is probably indicative of how old I was. But yeah, I think I got started somewhere around the age of 3 or 4. I remember building the McDonald's Happy Meals with the Ronald McDonald printed on the 2x3 slopes. Yeah, that was probably some of my first models. I remember some of the original Alien. The neon green ones, I forget the name of the theme. But yeah, there was
there's so many.
I know. The iconic one was the UFO dish with the 2 neon green dishes, and then the two
okay.
light gray.
I know what you're
dishes.
talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know the theme. I'm not going to. I know the theme. It's under space, but I don't know the specific theme name. I'm not going to name it.
I know.
Because I'm going to get it wrong, and then I'm going to get crucified.
I know.
by all
I'm
the
nervous
space
to get it
people.
wrong on the podcast. But yeah,
it's like with Star Wars. I know I'm going to get hate email. No.
Right. No. I played with that for so many years. It got so much use, and as my collection grew, I started doing custom builds. Like I remember taking pictures with a Lego logo that I built when I was probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And, so I even built some quote-unquote sculptures. I say quote-unquote because only I knew what I was building.
Yeah.
If I showed it to someone else, they'd be like, that's a cool blob. But, I did a lot of design. And then as I got older, my dad was a cinematographer, and he gave me his Red 1 camera to play around with and try out stop-motion animation.
Sure.
And, of course, being the Lego builder that I was, I had my subject right in my basement. So I was a basement dweller.
you were the stereotypical Lego fan at the time.
But yeah, so I got started doing stop motion animations, especially with my castle sets. And let's see, I did a lot of Star Wars animations. I did a 9-minute Star Wars animation at like 15 frames per second when I was, or maybe it was 12 frames per second, when I was very young, and a project of that size was maybe a bit too much for me to take on. But I finished it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, even if it shows my age at the time. But
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and from there I started doing a lot more collaborations. I got to meet a lot of really cool animators digitally for a collaboration project that I did with Brothered Workshop and Forrest Whaley from Forest Fire 101. A bunch of other really talented animators. We called it the Animators Collective.
Yeah, okay.
And we recreated the Rogue One trailer in Lego.
Oh my god.
And the goal was to get it done in 2 weeks, publish it on YouTube, and break the internet. And for the most part, we did. We got an email from Gareth Edwards, who originally directed Rogue One. And man, it was such a dream to
I
hear
was
going to
say, that must have been like one of the all-time dreams right there. Like, oh my gosh, I'm totally fanboying, right?
We absolutely were. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were like, should we reply? Should we ask him for an autograph over email? What do we do?
Can you sign your digital signature down below, please, sir? that is really cool. So obviously now at this point Lego is still a hobby, like you said, with most people. We have full-time jobs. What are some of your favorite things, aside from the bricker build stuff? What are some of your favorite things that Lego comes out with, or may have come out with in the past? So you're like, I'm just a big fan of whatever.
Well, I'm intending to buy that new Kaminoan minifig in the new Starfighter set.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Star Wars collector. Oh my gosh, we've got John Hammond right in front of us.
I know. John Hammond's going to be coming on here in a little bit. But.
I love that so much. Sorry.
No, I know. You've got to go talk to him. He's got a really cool setup over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about you and your Star Wars geekiness.
Yeah. I was a big minifigure collector. I have a big desk drawer of Star Wars minifigs. I have the entire 1999 collection, and a couple other years I think I've completed my collection. But really love collecting minifigs. I usually tear down my sets and build my own stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
That's the way everybody does it.
Yeah. But yeah, so big minifig collector. I also did some game design. So I designed a board game that's very similar to, I don't know if you're familiar with Warhammer 40K or the Lord of the Rings tabletop game.
Okay.
Very much inspired by that, but you'd get this grand narrative being told over a tabletop battle. And you're kind of telling a story. So some of the rules, especially since I was probably 12 when I came up with these rules, they don't really make a ton of sense. And they were definitely prone to me and my friends getting into arguments over, did this droid hit could a droid clearly see the clone, and could he have actually hit him? I don't know, but yeah, we had a lot of fun with that game, and I actually revamped it a year or two ago. So me and my animator friend Adam Nyes will get, we're still basement dwellers.
Yeah, of course.
Have a.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
We'll hop in our basement and play a 12-hour tabletop battle telling a grand Clone Wars story. It's been fun.
Still arguing over the rules, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that is really cool. I think with what you're doing with Bricker Builds, it really brings out the artistic folks in the community. Like you said, with the Instagram and stuff, people are like, I want to work for you. And it seems like that works these days, where you reach out and be like, you know what, let's see what happens. You know, everybody needs a shot at some point in time. But I really love the Bricker Builds. People can find you obviously on social media. Is it Bricker Builds?
Yeah, at Bricker Builds on Instagram. We're on TikTok and YouTube and all the platforms. TikTok, Twitter.
All the things, right?
Yep.
All the things. So people are interested in the models, they can go to brickerbuilds.com, I assume?
Yep, we have instruction manuals for a lot of our builds unless they're limited time or exclusive. And then we've also got bricks and instructions, so the full kit that you need to build it for most of our models.
Okay.
And if you don't see something that you think you should see on the website, email us and we can get, if you guys have a suggestion for a new model, or if you see something that you maybe saw a picture of and you want it, send us an email.
Fantastic. Well, Chris, I appreciate you coming on and chatting, sharing your Lego story, your journey with Bricker Builds. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, year and a half, boom, just like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, brickerbuilds.com if you want your stuff, or like Chris said, follow them on social media. And if you are interested in maybe designing one day, let them know, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been really fun.
Thanks, Chris. I had a blast, man. It was awesome. Well, that'll wrap up the interview with Chris. I hope you guys enjoyed it. He was a great guy to talk to. And like he had said, and I had mentioned in there, if you really want to see something being built, being made, send them an email, let them know. If you have any aspirations of potentially designing a model in the future, reach out to them. The worst they can say is no, or maybe not right now, or whatever, but you have to try. Right. So again, if you are curious on looking up some of their products, it's brickerbuilds.com. Follow them on their socials and just enjoy the experience if you choose to get something from their website, especially the Polaroid camera. I had a chance to see that. That thing is cool looking. Anyway, so that's going to wrap up this episode. Hope you guys are enjoying summer as much as I am. And until we meet again, I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's build on it.